There is a story I want to tell you, not about a villain, not about someone cruel, not about someone who wanted to cause pain, about someone ordinary, someone like you, someone who had everything. People who loved them genuinely, not for what they had, not for what they could offer, but for who they actually were. And then, one by one, those people left, and the person sat alone in a quiet house full of everything and completely empty. And you know what took it all? Not a mistake, not bad luck, not timing. 3 letters. Ego. In this person's life, there were real people, the kind that are rare. The friend who stayed through the ugly chapters, who showed up not with advice, but just with presence. The partner who loved the unpolished version, the version before the titles, before the achievements, the raw and unfinished version. The family member who called not because they had to, but because they genuinely wanted to know, are you okay? Are you really okay? These were not perfect people, but they were real. And real, in a world full of performance, is the rarest thing there is. And our person knew it. In moments of stillness, they knew it. But there was something else, something that also lived inside them. Something quiet at first, almost invisible. Ego. Not the loud kind, not the arrogant kind that announces itself. The quiet kind, the kind that whispers, that works slowly, that does its damage so gradually, you don't notice until the room is empty. Here is how it happened. The friend said something honest, the kind of honesty that only a real friend would offer. The uncomfortable kind, the kind that comes from caring, and Ego whispered, don't accept that. They're attacking you. You don't need to hear this. So our person defended, deflected, dismissed. The friend, confused, tried again, a little quieter this time, a little more careful. And Ego said, see, they think you're weak. Don't apologize. Never apologize. That's losing. So no apology came. The partner asked for something simple. Patience, honesty. Just be here with me, really here. And Ego said, you don't owe anyone that. You're giving enough. They should be grateful. So the partner waited and slowly stopped waiting. The family member reached out and Ego said, you're too busy for this. You've moved beyond this. You don't need to explain yourself. So the calls were missed and the messages were left unread and the distance grew. This is how ego works, not in one dramatic moment, not in one terrible decision, in 100 small ones, each one feeling like self-protection, each one feeling like strength, each one quietly removing something real from your life. And here is what nobody tells you about ego. It lies about what it is. It tells you it is self-respect. It is not. Self-respect does not require other people to be smaller. It tells you it is strength. It is not. Real strength can say, I was wrong, I am sorry, I need help. Ego cannot say those words, because ego has decided that those words are losing. But here's what ego never shows you. The scoreboard it is keeping. Nobody else is playing that game. The battle it is winning it alone. Real connections, the ones that sustain you, the ones that see you through, do not survive ego. Because real connections require patience. Ego is impatient. Real connections require honesty. Ego is dishonest. First with others, then with itself. Real connections require the willingness to be wrong. Ego would rather be right and alone than be wrong and loved. And this is the cruelest thing ego does. It doesn't just take people from you. It takes your ability to love and to receive love, both, at the same time. It hollows out the very capacity that makes life worth living and fills the space with pride. And pride, for a moment, feels like something. But you cannot hold pride at 3 a.m. You cannot share a meal with pride. You cannot be known by pride. Pride keeps the lights on. Love is the reason you want to come home. And then comes the day. For our person in the story, it came quietly, not with a bang, not with a confrontation, just a Sunday afternoon. No plans, no messages, no one to call, and the silence was so loud. They scrolled through their phone, past names that used to mean something, past conversations that trailed off, past people who had stopped trying. Not because they stopped caring, but because caring had cost them too much for too long. And in that silence, for the first time, ego had nothing to say. Because ego is loud in the battle, but it has no comfort after the war. And our person sat there and understood something that cannot be unlearned. Every real person they had lost had not been taken. They had been pushed, quietly, consistently, by something that lived inside them and called itself protection. Ego does not protect you, it isolates you. And then, when the isolation is complete, it tells you that you never needed them anyway. So here is the truth at the center of this story. In your life, in every life, there is only room for one. Ego or love. Not both. They cannot coexist. Not really. Not long term. Because love requires everything. Ego refuses to give. Love requires you to say, I was wrong. Ego says, never. Love requires you to say, I need you. Ego says, need no one. Love requires you to say, I am sorry. Ego says, apologizing is weakness. Love requires you to let someone in, fully into the parts you are not proud of. Ego says, show only the version that wins. And if you keep choosing ego, the genuine people leave, not because they are weak, but because genuine people know their own worth. And they will not fight for a seat at a table that was never really set for them. They will leave quietly, with grace, without a speech, without a dramatic exit. They will just stop showing up. And one day you will notice the absence, and it will feel permanent, because it might be. Choose love. Not because it is easy, it is not easy. Love is the hardest thing a person can choose. It asks you to be patient when you want to react, honest when you want to hide, humble when you want to win, present when you want to disappear. But here is what love gives you in return. People, real ones, who stay, who know you, who choose you, again and again, not because you are perfect, but because you are real. Ego will always feel like winning, but look around carefully at what it has cost you. The quiet house, the unanswered calls, the people who stop trying. Pride lasts a moment, but what you lose to keep it, that can last forever. Choose love. Let ego go, not for them, for the life that is still waiting to be lived.